Hey, everyone.
I voted for Kamala Harris, and I thought she would be a great president until very recently when I saw her
Thank heavens he woke up.
comments about the war in Iran. I'm going to play some clips from before the election and from after the war. See what you think.
Foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands. Okay, this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you
and
have
that must
proof
be.
that Iran is building a nuclear weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this moment.
That video is from before the election. She's talking about Iran has American blood on their hands, pointing out the fact that Iran has attacked Americans multiple times. Over 1,000 Americans have been killed since 1979 when the Islamic Republic stole the government of Iran. So she's aware. She's aware of the threat that Iran poses and promising to be strong on national security.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
That's Kamala Harris as vice president, supporting the Biden policy against Iran, understanding that Iran is a serious threat. But what happens when Trump takes action against Iran? What does Kamala have to say now? Let's take a look.
When it comes down to it, is that if we want to stop Donald Trump with this random decision that he has arrived at, then Congress must act, and Congress must act immediately. The American people do not want our sons and daughters to go into this unauthorized war of choice, and I unequivocally oppose it.
This random decision that Donald Trump has arrived at. Like, this is just out of the blue. Nobody could have seen this coming. All Donald Trump's choice. Forget the fact that every president, every administration since 1979 has understood the threat posed by the Islamic Republic occupying Iran and turning that country's resources into a war machine against the United States and our allies around the world. Forget all of that. This is just Donald Trump's choice. And the American people don't want it. Of course, the American people don't want to go to war. We don't know any better. We're not paying attention to the nitty-gritty details of international foreign policy. We don't know how many Americans have
I'm old enough to remember 47 years ago.
been killed. We don't remember
and everything in between.
How many embassies have been bombed. We don't know that the Iranian school children wake up every morning chanting death to America like the Pledge of Allegiance. You're the expert. You're supposed to be the leader that helps us understand these complex issues, and you're playing politics with it. Of course, war is unpopular. Of course. And you just turn it into a political football. You could criticize how Trump is conducting the war, say you would have done it this way, you would have done it that way, but you don't. You just say this is a war of choice, a random decision, even though you know better. Score cheap political points. Pretend that this is just another crazy mistake from Donald Trump. Whoever was in office right now, whatever president from whatever party, would have had to deal with this threat. It should have been dealt with under Obama when they kidnapped a ship full of Navy sailors and held them hostage. No, he created the nuclear deal, which would have expired this year. The limits on nuclear enrichment would have expired this year. And the limits on rockets, the distance that Iranian rockets can travel, expired 3 years ago. That deal would have been gone. There is no diplomacy right now, and Iran knows that. They were planning for exactly this year, the entire time, to attack. Oh, nuclear deal's over, let's go. One more clip.
He entered a war, got pulled into it by Bibi Netanyahu, let's be clear about that, entered a war that the American people do not want, putting at risk American service members.
And then she jumps on the blame Israel bandwagon. Like, they just pulled us into this war for no reason, right? Not because there's been rockets flying at them for the past 2.5 years. Ever since October 7th, 2023, when Hamas invaded Israel and took over 200 people hostage and killed over 1,000 in the most ruthless way possible. No, Israel just, for some reason, because they're awful and terrible, pulled us into this war. No, they're on the front lines and they were attacked. And we were the only country with the guts to step in and do something about it. Because it's not just Israel that's under attack. Israel's just the first country in the way. I could show you
All of us are, actually. They want to take over the world.
dozens of clips right now of Islamic preachers in Arabic and English telling us exactly what they want to do, that they want to destroy the United States, destroy Western civilization, and turn us all into the Islamic handmaid's tale. And Kamala Harris can't even be real about that threat. She is the reason that I have so much trouble voting for Democrats right now in this moment.
Me, it's also the socialism.
She was supposed to be the adult in the room. She was supposed to be the experienced leader. And she's playing politics just like the rest of them.
Does it sound good, everyone? I always got to check that. You never know.
Iranians today are warning that the current mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani's language, his rhetoric, the things that he says and how he phrases them sounds to them very
100% true.
eerily familiar to exactly how the Ayatollah spoke before he seized power in Iran in 1979. I'd like to watch this portion of the special because it is quite mind-blowing.
You'll find Iranian people on social media telling us over and over and over again that the way Mamdani speaks in New York City is exactly the way the Ayatollah was speaking in Iran, word for word, verbatim.
So this is the promises Khomeini made back in 1979, pre-1979. Look at this. He has promised free water, free electricity, and free buses. Now, does that sound familiar? Have you heard it before? Let's say, I don't know, New York 2024 campaign?
Language, framing. It's one of the key ways Islamists gain popularity and power within elected political positions here in
They buy votes and they get power and they're dictators.
America.
It is so well documented. The Islam cannot come to colleges and say, we're going to make everybody dress like this. You're going to follow the dress codes or we'll kill you. We're going to marry young girls off at 9 years old. They can't sell that. What they can sell is Marxism. And so they soften the language and say, oh, this other stuff is crazy. They soften the language. But in the meantime, their goal is for a global caliphate. And in the documentary, we show their number one target is America. In fact, they say, if we gain the whole world, but we lose America, we have failed. They must have America. We are the great Satan. Israel's a little Satan. We're the great Satan. They must have America. And they are so far down this road.
Yep. And they've been at it even before the 47 years. The first country they really got full control of is there. Egypt was able to put their extremists in jail. Then Carter got them out. And that led to all the Middle East problems. All right, this one's about Yazidi girls. This one escaped, got away in Gaza. This is Yazidi girls. Yazidis is really Christian in a way, over in the Middle East. That's what Yazidis is, what there was before there was Christianity. They end up raping and torturing him to death. Yep. That's what we're leading to.
What's up? What's up? You want more than?
All right, this guy stabs Shri, cuts this one guy's throat, which is this Marine.
God. Oh my god! Hey, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Dude, it's Caden! Oh my god! 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 Oh my god, dude! Are you serious? Are you serious?
No, this guy's been arrested several times before. The judges keep letting him out.
Dude, yeah, dude. No,
unbelievable. A lot of these judges need to be thrown out right away.
Most people think everyone in Iran is Persian. They're not. And if you don't understand this, you will never understand what's happening in Iran right now and the complexity of the situation. First, let's clear something up. Persian is an ethnicity. Iranian is a nationality. Not all Iranians are Persians. Iran is not a monolith. It is home to dozens of ethnic groups, languages, religions, and cultures that have existed for thousands of years. Iran has a population of 93 million people. And while Persians make up the majority, about 61%, nearly half the country is made up of ethnic minorities. In the Northwest, you have Azadis. They're the largest minority group, about 15 million people, and they speak a Turkic language. They have a rich history and a strong cultural identity. In the West, you have the Kurds, about 10 million people with their own language and a history of resistance that goes back centuries. They are one of the largest stateless nations in the world. My grandmother was an Iranian Kurd, which makes me part Kurdish. In the Southwest, you have the Lurs and the Arabs. The Lurs are one of Iran's oldest peoples, and the Arabs live in Khuzestan province, which sits on 80% of Iran's oil reserves, yet they live in poverty. In the Southeast, you have the Baluch. They live in Iran's poorest and most underserved province, Sistan Baluchistan. They are a Sunni minority in a Shia majority country, and they face some of the harshest discrimination. And in the Northeast, you have the Turkmen, plus many other groups, Armenians, Assyrians, Gilaki, and several others, each with their own language, their own culture, and their own history. The religious minorities include Zoroastrians, Jews, Sunni Muslims, Christians, and Baha'is, whose faith is not officially recognized and face systemic persecutions. So why does this matter? Because for 47 years, the Islamic Republic has tried to erase these identities. They've banned languages in schools, they've suppressed cultures, they've executed activists, they've used violence to enforce a single narrow Persian Shia identity on a country that has always been diverse. The regime fears this diversity because a united Iran, one that celebrates its Kurdish, Baluch, Arab, Azadi, and Persian identities, is an Iran they can't control. So when you see the resistance, the uprisings, the death to the regime slogans, remember, this isn't just one group of people resisting. It's a nation of nations fighting for the right to be themselves. Long live Iran and all of its people. Payende Iran.
Amen.
Here in Times Square.
All right, so he's not going to allow the thing to come down on the 4th of July. Well, actually, it would be the 3rd of July going into the 4th of July.
A ball drop is planned to celebrate America's 250th birthday. But thanks to Mayor Mamdani's emergency order denying permits during the World Cup, the public isn't invited to attend. Say what?
So our famous communist won't allow people to come up and see and celebrate 250th years for the U.S. He needs to go.
Is this America? Is this really New York? Where we at?
I think that's really sad.
Yeah, I think that's very silly.
Oh, Janish, you'd imagine it should be allowed.
It's something we're celebrating, right? So it's supposed to be open for people to come in.
New Year's Eve, everybody's out here allowed to be here, so why can't it be that then?
We have to, live our lives. Can't be afraid.
I should probably articulate that I'm a Canadian. That would never happen in Canada.
Yeah, right.
The public should be allowed to go.
I think that should be something that everybody
not when the turd was in
should be included. I mean, that's a big milestone.
He would have made sure you didn't celebrate your heritage
in our nation's history. Kind of frustrating because I was kind of excited to come down here for that, but I'm not buying a ticket.
It's ridiculous, absurd. Get out of here.
Get out of here. There you go. I think he was Italian or something. All right, this is a crazy cuckoo, and don't go to New York City. Watch this. It's on the train, off a train station. His head's all cut and everything. There's a lot more to it here.
But I don't fuck with you. I don't know what I'm doing. There's somebody saying.
I'm surprised that's not bleeding worse than that. Definitely violent.
What the fuck?
Hey, Tammy. Yeah, I'm going to celebrate anyways, too. I'll probably, maybe if it's on TV, I'll go live at midnight and play that. Midnight, not my time, 11 o'clock your time. I'll probably come on live like a half hour before, play a few clips, talk a little bit, and then go for the live part of it. I guess you're still going to be able to see it on TV. He's not going to let any people attend it.
Oh, give me in this. Give me in this.
I bet he's high on drugs. How come that's not bleeding worse? I don't understand it. I thought facial cuts really bleed a lot. Cut kind of deep too.
Oh, he getting wavy. He getting wavy.
Yo, shoot that nigga. Shoot that nigga. Shoot that nigga.
He probably got cut in a fight. I don't know. All right, coming to America.
But we have and we will continue to globalize the Intifada. And we will.
Globalize. That means the whole world.
We will force our government.
It's not just Palestine. That's bullcrap.
To listen to us because they want us to accept a world that is unacceptable.
Yeah, he was split open. He was split open pretty bad. I think he attacked someone and he was the violent one and he got a cut out of it, a bad cut. I don't know. That's what I was thinking there, Tammy. I don't know. They're coming for us though.
So again, jizya, we start saying like this, like that. There's no need. And just to clarify as well, yes, jizya is taken from the non-Muslims. We take the jizya from the non-Muslims, the combatants, the enemies of Allah and His Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
We're combatants of them if we're not them.
In exchange, and when we say like tax, it's not like a council tax or road tax that you're paying. You understand? And I'll get to that point as well. Is we're taking in exchange for your blood, for your life. Do you understand? We're taking it in exchange.
You either pay the tax or they kill you.
For your blood, for your life. This is mentioned by the commentators of the Quran as well. The Mufassirin, they've explained, the Fuqah have gone into detail. And why are we taking this is because you are a rebellion. You are rebellious against Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And because we have mercy, Islam has mercy, we're saying you pay the jizya. And again, we don't want to get into the discussion of how much and how much is stipulated, and the Fuqah have explained this. But when you give the jizya to the Imam, the commander of the Mujahideen, or whoever's in charge at the time, then what we are guaranteeing you is a protection for yourself, for your property, for your family, for
protection from them, I guess, huh?
For your children, and also we will fight.
The mafia used to do that, right?
Off or fend off the enemy that attacks you. Let me give you an example. In 2024, last year, there was an article in The Guardian that said that just in the year 2024, Islamophobia, the rise of attacks against the Muslims in just that 1 year, rose to approximately 70.
And how many attacks by them on regular people, especially Christians?
3%. You understand? You pay road tax, you pay council tax, you pay this tax, bin tax, all these taxes, and they still can't give some sort of value to the Muslims. And what does Islam say? Jizya.
Wait a minute. You guys are the most, especially the dudes, are the most on the welfare system, idiot. Go out and work.
We're saying we're not taking your blood in the battlefield. You're giving us jizya, and in exchange in jizya, what's going to happen is if an outsider attacks you guys, we're going to protect you as well.
Bull crap. They want the money. That's what they want, and to live for nothing, and convert everyone. Nothing to see here, folks. Just more massacres. This is in Africa. They're killing the Christians for being Christians. So I guess the tax system didn't work there. They want to make sure they suffer when they kill them. They even have the little kids in on it. They're beating them to death after they tie their hands up and hold them at gunpoint. And they're laughing about it. Okay, the Islamic regime is starting to have infighting inside, and they're starting to lose. Wish they had actually dated that, though. I'm not sure exact date on that one. Here, I'll go with this one.
I am speechless. Look at this. The United Nations has nominated the Islamic Republic of Iran to the Committee of Program and Coordination, which will meet soon on policies of human rights, women's rights, and terrorism prevention. Huh? This has got to be like one of those punked moments where Ashton Kutcher jumps out and says, "Punked!" No, for real, this is a joke, right?
Hey, Kurt.
I am literally crying and laughing at the same time. I want to thank you, United Nations. You were actually able to make somebody like me, who yaps all the time, speechless. Bravo. You guys are the greatest. I mean, you are... I have no words. No words. I am no words. None. Fantastic.
Here's a Muslim woman speaking out against the community, her own community.
I don't give a fuck about my reputation as a Muslim woman. I spent my whole life being what they said a good Muslim woman should be. I never partied, I never smoked, I never drank, I never took my hijab off, I never touched a man outside of marriage, I never had a rebellious phase, I never listened to music, I never whatever. I was the definition of what they say a good Muslim woman should be. And yet, when I try to expose a horny dawah bro for sliding into my DMs, the Muslim community tried to rip me apart and destroy my reputation. And that was the biggest wake-up call to me. That was the moment I realized this idea of our reputation is a tool, it's a construct used to control women. As Muslim women, we are heavily taught.
Well, you'd think you'd realize that a long time before now, but glad she finally came around.
That our worth lies in how we are perceived, and that one little mistake, one mishap can destroy us forever. But let's look around. Muslim men can do the very things that we are warned against. They can lie, they can cheat, they can have a past of clubbing and sleeping around and smoking and drinking and have secret wives, secret families, and yet their reputation remains intact. What does that tell us? It tells us that this idea of our reputation is not about morality, it's about control. As a Muslim woman, your reputation can be destroyed for simply being a woman with full autonomy, which means it was never real to begin with. So stop living for how you are perceived to others, because the moment you stop living for their perception is when you can actually just live freely.
Yeah, some are finally waking up. I hope she leaves the religion for sure. Besides, it's really a cult. Okay, this is a little bit bad.